What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to ScreamADay 9, day 37. What are you boying? What are you selling? Right, she's 16, yes? So a 16-year gap. Got some rare things on sale, stranger. Excuse me, sorry. Isn't Resident Evil 4 Remake exclusive to something or other? What's that shit? Is it exclusive to what? Raspberry Pi, N-Gage, PSP? I don't fucking remember. I managed to nab my shiny bauble. Seems like I was a little too on the ball, or I was unnecessarily ready to pull the trigger because it was up for at least an hour. I thought it would be instantly gone. But I am super, super, super excited to play with that. I do what I always do, where I'm digging a little obsession hole, putting myself in it and covering it with dirt. Squeakerino. Wamasi, thank you for the biddies. Tringard, thank you for the biddies. Foxborn, thank you for the biddies. Very much appreciated. But yeah, I've been digging into trying to get back up to speed again on the basics of the editing and so forth. There's some videos out there. It's really cool though. It's got a very wild system because it basically has arrow keys, a shift key, a play button, an option button, and an edit button. And a song can basically be navigated through all that. You hold the shift key to sort of navigate around. So the song breaks down left to right. So it goes like song, chain, pattern. I think it's pattern, instrument, table, left to right, and then of course right to left, back all the way up to the song. So you can drill down, drill up, and then each of those pages has its own couple of settings pages, so you can do super deep customization of everything, like all the way down to the synth or sample or whatever you're working with. Just every little piece of it you can fuck with. I think I got the first one that was available today, probably. I might have been the first one because I was perhaps more eager than anybody. Because it was in stock for like an hour at least after I got mine. I thought it was going to be a scramble, man. I didn't I didn't know how much stock they didn't say how much. They're doing them every Monday in November. Well, I say they, but this is one person, which makes this even more wild. This is a one-person operation. So every week they're building another batch and shipping out the ones they just sold. Yep. Also, it has a very cool feature for the stream in the future. It has the ability to do external display over USB. So I can be editing on the device, but I can also show my display on the stream if I want to, which would be pretty sick. Indeed, it would be quite good for that. Well, Mario Paint's music thingy has been emulated. I think there's a number of standalone versions of it that people have built, and people still regularly make Mario Paint music. It's a whole thing. It's a community. I love that stuff. It's so crazy. I never would have imagined, and certainly didn't imagine when I was sitting on my living room floor with my little Super Nintendo mouse and mouse pad, swatting flies, and then getting bored with that and going into the stupid music editor and making it go uh, uh, over and over. That there would be a huge community that would form around that music player. I don't know what happened to my original. I don't think the mousepad and mouse that I have are my originals. But I have a mouse and mousepad for the Super Nintendo somewhere around here. Frontiers? What's Frontiers? Oh. People still get excited for those. That's cool. I have a lot of empathy for Sonic fans. You've been through a lot. It's not first time open world. Shit. I guess it depends on what you mean by open world. You keep it in your stomach, Wamasi? Wow. See, I never started enjoying the gameplay from the Sonic games. Um, yeah. I've talked about this before, but like I didn't find the originals fun. I don't find it very satisfying. I grew up with Mario. My first Sonic that I actually owned, but not the first time I ever played it, but the first time I actually owned a copy was the Game Gear version. And I really tried, y'all. I tried. I didn't find it enjoyable. I think just comparatively, I was used to the gameplay style of Mario games where it feels so much more deliberate. Whereas, yeah, exactly. I always felt that way about Sonic. Was like, okay, gotta go fast, but can't go fast. I don't understand. Why is it like this? If you try to go fast, spikes, enemies, blocks, springs, like it's just frustrating. And it also had that sort of weird kind of nonsensical level design that I think a lot of games suffered from in that 16-bit era. I mean, 8-bit era wasn't super better or anything like that, but especially on the Genesis, it happened on the Super Nintendo as well, but like there was a lot of platformers that just sort of had really abstract level design. And again, I think this relates back to the fact that I was a big Mario fan, where the Mario levels are very grounded. Like you're someplace and you're going somewhere. It's not just a jumble of stuff. I think all the Sonic games suffer from this problem of being about going fast, including the original 2D games. Um, and it just not being a good gameplay idea. I think that's the tragic truth behind Sonic that causes that franchise so much trouble. Go fast and gameplay are just sort of not compatible. Like platformer gameplay. If it was a car game, but then again, Sonic R exists, and the opportunity to make go fast gameplay work still a miss. Um, the only Sonic game I really liked was Sonic Adventure, which, by the way, was why I balked when I read first open world, because Sonic Adventure is it was an open world Sonic of that era. I mean, open world to me kind of sort of means an like an interconnected world, but I guess you probably mean more along the lines of like a Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, that sort of open world. I mean, really, it's just a difference in scale. They're all hub worlds with instances. I'm not trying to overly dump on Sonic. I mean, that's pretty well traveled ground. But that's always been how I felt about it. I'm just honestly sharing my view as somebody who really was like, I approached games from the perspective of just being in love with the concept of games. You know, I didn't really have, I was a Mario fan, but I wasn't like, well, I like Mario, so I hate Sonic. I didn't really have that attitude. I loved video games and video game hardware. I'm just explaining myself to try to provide that context. Oh man, not back then, y'all. Nani. I mean, in the context of kids on the playground, right? Sure, yeah, they're buds now. They went to the Olympics, yeah. Nintendo versus Sega was a pretty big deal on the playground back in the day. I remember. I would have happily had all of the consoles though, if we had infinite money. So I always felt that like that was weird. Although honestly, deep down in my heart, I'll admit that I liked Nintendo more. Not just because that was what I had, but like aesthetically and also the available games and stuff. Um, but much later on when I got to dig a little deeper into Sega's general offerings, Sega had plenty of gems. I'd say probably part of the problem with the Genesis is you had to dig a little harder, look a little farther to find the gems, but they're there. Another thing like about Nintendo versus Sega for me was how like the Super Nintendo for some reason dominated whole genres of things. Like Genesis just hardly had any RPGs. Barely anything of significance that wasn't made by Sega themselves. Like what's their thing? Phantasy Star. There's obviously more than just Phantasy Star, but like you could definitely come up with a list of great RPGs on the Genesis. And then you turn the camera away from the little pile of Genesis RPGs and point it at the base of the mountain of Super Nintendo RPGs. The towering epics. The magnum opuses. Stacks and stacks. Like it was just wild. And then the PS1 kind of inherited that crown, I guess, or whatever. But I always thought it was weird that there just weren't really nobody was trying to compete with that on the Genesis. I don't know if there was like a technical reason. I don't know, like JRPGs aesthetically moved too far away from me. They kind of joined the what I'm going to call the anime gray goo. I'm sorry, but like a lot of anime shit, and I'm like a reformed anime fan, it just all blends together for me. It just all looks the same. And I just can't, nothing stands out. Nothing seems really interesting. It's just going to be a mishmash of similar stuff I've already experienced. you got to understand that like like at the time that Final Fantasy VII came out, that shit stood the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? There was that was the only place to get that. I mean, it was obviously it was just a JRPG, but in terms of the whole package, the presentation, the cutscenes, the style, the aesthetic overall, the music, the just everything about it. This was your one-stop fucking shop. It was the only place to go. You had to get Final Fantasy VII. There was nothing similar to it. And a lot of stuff was like that at the time, you know? Because I think it was just this Wild West, new frontier type of situation still in the, what was that, the 6th generation, 5th generation, somewhere around there. I don't really know. I don't track the generations. And I think that just, I think if you were on that train from the beginning, you have a much different perspective on things. But there's definitely saturation now that I think kind of undermines. You have to wait for like the real gems to sort of rise up out of the noise. Man, I don't know how you could have missed Final Fantasy VII's release if you were interested in video games at the time, because it dominated. It was so like ubiquitous. People talking about it. It was one of the wildest things about it was that it had commercials on fucking MTV. There were fucking commercials targeting not little kids about a video game on a not little kids television channel. That was mind-boggling. And the commercial had fucking video game graphics in it. Ah, it just, that was just a shit your pants worthy moment when that happened. Obviously, that's mundane now. Hopefully, it's clear that I don't just lose my mind every time I see a video game commercial. Like, there were Mario commercials, there were Nintendo commercials before that. A lot of the commercials before that would have been the ones with like some like teenage guy in his bedroom turning on his video game console, and then his hair gets like, they hairspray their hair straight back because he's blown away by the games, dude. Wow. That sort of approach. So to see a game like Final Fantasy VII being advertised as it is for what it is, just the game by itself, was really cool. But yeah, I'm just saying like things definitely were different then from now. I would say that now the indie space is the most, has the most in common with back then. And the more mainstream space just it really feels like an oversaturated kind of mess to me. I feel like anime kind of went down that same road too, where you have to wait for these gems to pop out. But for the most part, it's just this big blob where they're just making too much stuff. And I imagine that's a lot of the reason why the animation industry sucks shit in Japan now. I feel like it has to be exceeding demand. There just cannot be enough people for all of this content. All this really rather similar content. How many ugh. it's just so weird. It's like there's just so many of almost the exact same fucking show as well all the time, you know? Has anybody counted how many basically the exact same show as Sword Art Online there are? Like it's weird, like I don't know. There's it's not like the same ideas can't be reused, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. But it does feel weird. It feels like it went down another level where like what would have been the interesting twist for a show that just one show would do, for example, everybody lives in an MMO. You would think that would be one show and that's what that show is about. But instead what happens is that there's like 100 shows where one of the core premises is that everybody's in an MMO. Like, what? That's so weird to me. Why do we need more than one? It feels like we hit the limits of topics, and now we have to branch off of subtopics. Does that make sense? We've run out of topics, so now we got to go the next level down. Kind of like how anime seems to be running the fuck out of names for things, which also is not terribly surprising. I often think about, I've thought about that with like video games. Like, have we used up all the like one word names yet? And now anime, that's the pace anime is going at now, where all of the shows have to be named something like that time me and my friends were hanging out at the cafe that was hit by a black hole. The show. You mean like of mangas? It's all manga adaptation? Right. Yeah. I guess I don't really lament that as much, in that I feel like it just sort of makes sense ish. It makes sense ish. Because essentially the like if you think about it, the core is not really different. Because to do a show that's not an adaptation, you still have to like write it and storyboard it out. You don't have to go to the full effort of making a full fucking comic, but you have to do a lot of the same steps. So I don't know if that's really like I don't know if that is diminishing anything, I guess. Maybe it is. Like maybe that process of writing and storyboarding specifically for a show that doesn't have anything to do with any other property, maybe that lends to more quality in the show itself, but I don't really know. I mean, I feel like if you've got a quality story, whether it's being adapted or it was directly created just for the show, what matters is probably the quality of the story and not the method of creation per se. I suppose there could be differences in how you go about, but I mean, I still feel like that's something that's solvable in the adaptation case. But then what does happen is people will get mad. They already know the story and they're like, why did you change this? So yeah, that might be
That might be part of the problem with it. Right. And I mean, that's probably a symptom of the fact that it's been turned into a fucking sort of sweatshop factory. We must constantly crank out content nightmarescape. You know, it's weird. Like what's happening with the creative space there feels like it mirrors our sort of, you know, strip mining the world of all of its resources. We're strip mining creativity of all that it could offer. You know, maybe it's a limited resource. How many stories can we possibly tell about swinging swords at things and shooting guns at stuff and flying ships around and this slice of life and that slice of life and this love story and that one? I'm really just sort of I've ventured off into rhetorical land here. I've imagined sometimes like maybe one of the things that you don't really realize about getting older is that you start to lose all interest in everything because you kind of have seen the same stories over and over. Like you've just seen they can only be so different, and really it just starts to become like just the details, right? But on the other hand, so I like thought experiment wise imagine like, well, what if you were immortal? Is this the bane of immortality? Setting aside the whole problem of like you don't want to live in a body that's 1,000 years old, but like, does everything just eventually stop being interesting, or does it become that you just start to focus more on nuance, that the gems, so the general case is less interesting, right? But the special cases mean more. I kind of feel like that's where I'm at. And it's not even necessarily saying things that are exceptionally good, but just very specific things only will really grab my attention for whatever it is, whatever the reasons are that I like a thing. Sometimes something will really grab my attention, you know, specifically tickle my fancy. I don't know. I wrestle with the whole idea. I think I would want to be immortal personally. I feel like I've been living my life in slow motion, but I've been aging at normal speed. And I feel like that I'm headed for a lot of anguish towards the end of my life where I would just be like regretting and lamenting that I didn't move faster, that I didn't achieve the things I wanted to achieve sooner, that I didn't learn more, that I held myself back from doing the things that I thought I couldn't do and then found out that I could do, you know. And it's going to make me wish that I had twice the lifespan or longer. I feel like I haven't explored everything that I want to. I'm just speaking for myself here, Beer. I'm just talking about how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm also only speaking of this from the perspective of creativity and enjoyment of things in life. And I'm not really bringing politics or externalities or anything else like that into it. I'm outside of the world of like creativity, creation, storytelling, music, games, and my own desires and wants and drives and motivations. So I'm not giving you like a full perspective on like how I whether or not I really think immortality in the general sense would be any good. If that makes any sense. Pretty much. Well, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, Minnie, because we have to experience that with or without immortality. So I don't, for me, it doesn't really change anything. But I also wasn't really thinking of it selfishly. I was imagining that if I had it, everyone did. I was making that assumption. But in my head, I didn't really voice that. But like, in reality, we're randomly exposed to that anyway, regardless of our length of life. And I struggle with that on a basic level constantly. I'm constantly dipping in and out of existential crises on a regular basis. That's how I look at Chu. The fact that Chu has his issues with like the seizures and such has this way of kind of keeping it foremost in my mind. And I don't like how much it draws a line under the fact that I know that there's a day waiting for me out there in the future that's going to fucking suck more than anything. And I wish that I could get that out of my brain. Yeah, it's a powerful force in the mind. I guess what I would want if I had to like put a little pin in this whole thing is I'd like to have total control over my span of time. So, setting aside all those considerations of entropy, politics, resources, all of that, set all that aside. I think what I really desire is to be the ability and the control to flip my own switch when I'm done. And I don't mean that in a dark way. I just mean when I feel like I'm done, when I've done what I want to do and I don't have anything left that I want to do. Yeah. Well, I certainly wouldn't be able to put anything at all like a time span on that. I have no idea. You kind of wouldn't know until you know. I guess. So it weighs on my mind a lot. Suffice to say, I crossed a big number checkpoint, and I didn't think I would be this way, but this way I most certainly am. Where I just cannot help but to have these thoughts at a fairly steady clip of just like, boy, not a lot of time left. That went by fast. Almost over now. You know, just like constantly. Wish I could shut that thing up. Yeah, that stuff always brings it right to the top of the mind, Punkster. I know what you mean. Some sort of halfway point crisis? Maybe. Somewhere in the middle, perhaps. Kind of. Seems kind of life. Yeah, I'm not good at that, beer. Well, or I am and am not, depending on what we're talking about. I do things. I'm not shiftless, per se. But I also I cannot gaslight that part of my brain, is what I have learned. Despite my efforts, I have not been able to trick myself out of thinking that way in spite of whatever other efforts I'm making in other areas. I just cannot seem to convince that part of me to stop being that way. Oh, yes, thanks. Yeah, I have those thoughts like that, Fox, regardless of what I do. Whether I'm achieving things or not, I have those thoughts. It's what I've learned in my life. I've also never tried therapy. So maybe that's the thing I should be trying. But yeah, I have that too. Even, I mean, maybe not even, but like fictional confrontations with that very strongly fuck me up. I watched, in my quest to watch fucking random shit, I've been digging through like really random stuff. I watched an older series, an HBO series from 2008 called John Adams. I don't know why. I just kind of drift through genres and things, just like whatever caught my eye at some particular moment. And what happened here, by the way? But do I not have? No, I still have those. I guess she just commented on it. And I don't think this is really a spoiler because this is about real people and we know that they're dead. But the death scenes, one in particular, basically broke me. where I was just sitting at my desk trying to work, but also I'm crying. Just, you know, a normal day. Oh.
Where the hell am I? What is this place?
Okay. This is different. Goddamn. That's cool as hell. I love how we're revisiting so much of the game in a completely new way. It completely changes it. Yeah, that's the show with Paul Giamatti. Yep. I told you it was the Strand game, y'all. Head for the giant core. Who's this? Is this Dad? Is this Resident Dad? Nope, that's us. I didn't notice the hair until we were much closer.
They're all just like in the castle.
All Rose. There she is again. You know, I will say on the topic of oh no. On the topic of oh no. Oh god, it's the ones from the first chapter, but now they have rose clothes and her hair. And there's a lot of them as well. Okay, this one just would not slow down. They didn't take a lot of shots. That's good. So on the topic of oh no, on creativity and entertainment and stuff and saturation. The thing for me, and I know this is like more of just a me problem, probably maybe. I could absolutely go for basically an unending stream of like Resident Evil style games and gameplay, assuming that they were all on a quality level near to like Resident Evil 2. You know what I'm saying?
They're coming from in there.
Even though that contradicts what I was talking about with like basically The problem being like there's too much samey stuff and oversaturation of content and so forth. So it's just sort of a weird, kind of hypocritical thought process that goes on in my head. I started thinking that because I was sitting here thinking, like, kind of lamenting a little bit that this isn't more Resident Evil-y. Which may sound weird because it's literally a Resident Evil game. But it does, this is sort of like a kind of a very Resident Evil light. Wow, weird. You found Resident Evil, did you, so you didn't watch Resident Evil 2 Remake then? You weren't here for that? Because it's honestly not super different from this, other than, you know, there being like more unraveling the world, more puzzle completion type stuff necessary to advance, but like quality wise it exceeds this significantly. Oh wow, I saved you and now you're one of them. How dare you. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Is that what you don't like about it? Is the sort of start-stop nature of having to find keys and solve puzzles to get parts and pieces? Like for me, I really enjoy escape room style worlds and gameplay. You know, I enjoy unraveling that that sort of stuff to make my way through. And if you don't like that sort of thing, then yeah, you're not going to like a Resident Evil game very much, because they're basically escape the room, escape the city, escape the mansion games. So that's like all puzzle. I never did return to that. That was one of those ones that fell victim to. Actually, that was when I was like, I think when I played it, that was when I was feeling like fucking shit last year. I seem to remember I did like one stream, or maybe two, and I think in both cases I had to like ditch stream early because I was feeling awful. And then I didn't return to it. I liked it, but I didn't return to it.
I need to find that crystal.
Oh yeah, yeah. God, I felt like fucking shit at the marathon. Ugh. Ugh. I have trouble. I've always had trouble getting into Resident Evil 0. I would like to force myself through it one day. I think, in the simplest terms, I think the character switching gameplay puts me off early on. Wow. The village has been infected with Ligma.
Is this where those copies of me came from?
Doesn't make you a bad gamer, Beer. I'm just curious about the rationale, that's all. I'm not trying to, like... I'm not trying to criticize. I'm just interested in what would be keeping you away from something like that versus not this, or, you know, just, you know. There's plenty of stuff that like I slept on that later I discovered I loved. And it's just, I don't know why. I've often said that Pokemon is one of my bigger like video game regrets, because I just wrote it off as like this kids thing, and I had no fucking idea that they were essentially JRPGs. So those were coming out at a time when I loved JRPGs, and then I just wrote Pokemon off without knowing anything about it. Not knowing that I probably would have fucking loved it. And then, you know, it went on to become like this huge, massive thing that everybody fucking knows, and it's just like really impossible for me to get into now. You know, so that's just... sometimes shit just boils down to like whims or misperceptions or taste at the time, just whatever. Yeah, see, I that's part of why I like super regret the Pokemon thing, because I also missed out on a huge social aspect of that. I mean, that's one of those things that was so big and so widespread that to not have experienced it, you're missing chunks of social language, social common knowledge. You know? I don't know what the fuck anybody's talking about when they talk about Pokemon. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not crying about it or anything. It's not the end of the world, but I just regret it a bit, because I know that, like, I would have enjoyed it and probably still would today if I had just played it. But I did not. The Megamycete absorbs the memories of all life within its reach, but there are laws which govern this world within it. It seems worthwhile to catalog them as they become apparent. Number 1, the memories that comprise this realm do not strictly reflect reality. Number 2, only those who are attuned to the Megamycete in life retain control of their faculties here in this realm. This aligns with my understanding of the Megamycete as revealed to me in its visions before my death. Someone's been here. Yes, my death. My physical body is gone, absorbed into the Megamycete, and yet I do not despair, for this fate has granted me fascinating insights. All those years I strived, have continued to strive. They are not for nothing. The memories, the consciousness, understanding, and knowledge I accumulated in my life have transferred here to the Megamycete, where it serves as a source of power within this realm. If I can harness this power, I believe I can use it to affect the thoughts and memories of others. Of course, it's hardly a perfect arrangement. With so many minds and memories gathered here, finding and retrieving a single person from amidst the rabble has proven an immense challenge. Her memories are here, yes, but dissolute. Perhaps what is needed is the right vessel into which to hold her. And of course, I know of the perfect vessel, the only real candidate in all my years of searching, Rosemary Winters.
Someone's been here.
We've been tricked. We were tricked into coming in here by Uncle Sits on the Bench, whoever that fucking guy was. They're in cahoots! That's an eye, y'all. Just be ready. That thing's gonna open up. Probably when I walk past this table. If you have a thing about eyes, it's coming at you. I had intended to duplicate Rosemary Winters with the hope that a perfect replica might serve as a suitable vessel. However, the results were less than ideal. It would seem that some sort of interference is preventing me from creating a suitable replica. Instead, I have succeeded in making what is, essentially, a living doll. It resembles the real thing, yes, but has no power. Such a pathetic husk could never prove suitable as a vessel. I will continue my efforts in hopes of discerning the source of this interference. Several hypotheses have come to mind thus far. 1, the fact that Rose herself is still alive. 2, some other actor within this realm. Resident Dad. Number 3, a flaw in my methods of production. None of these seem especially likely to be the sole reason, nor are any of them easy problems to solve. Perhaps my best hope is to somehow bring Rose into this realm. Were she to offer herself as a vessel, it would be so simple. Additional observations. Further experiments with these Rose copies, as I've taken to calling these husks, have yielded another interesting wrinkle to pursue. When subjected to situations evoking extreme terror, they actually begin to express some semblance of Rose's abilities. This warrants more research, and I think that my first creation, the Masked Duke, is just the one to perform this stress test.
They couldn't have been watching me the entire time.
Yeah, of course they are, ding dong. You're in a science lab, in a jar. It would seem that at some point during my experiments with consciousnesses, an intruder made herself at home in my realm. This intruder was none other than the failure Eveline, who has been running about enacting her own pitiful agenda, which has led to a slight disruption in my own plans. Had Eveline not interfered, Rosemary Winters would have been on the verge of despair, dispossessed of her will to live and her mutamycete powers. Instead, a new passion burns within her. I shall have to extinguish it. You know what? The roses kind of remind me the way the hair and the clothing looks. It looks a lot like what's her fuck from Silent Hill 3. The eyebrowless cult leader lady. Forget her name right at this moment. They're definitely gearing us up for a boss rush battle type situation or something. They've just been feeding us ammo and sprigs.
There's that feeling again. It's so strong.
Hey,
It
Lily,
must
thank you
be
for the
the
biddies.
crystal. I'm almost there. Michael. It's through here.
What is this biz? It's squeaky. I can't go in there though. Seth, thank you for the biddies. Gnosis, thank you for the biddies. Black God, which lives in us and in which we live, create for us a new world as befits your will. Your dark consciousness holds for us a second chance, graciously offered and joyously accepted. You drink the blood of the lost lamb as it falls upon your darkened earth, not to destroy, but to preserve, and once again deliver unto life.
This is some twisted shit.
Beer, thank you for the pity.
This one's the real deal. I can feel it.
That's demonic, friend.
Fox, thank you for the BS. Oh yeah, it's quite obviously a trap. I mean, we just read that her having her powers still is a problem for whoever this unknown
It's working.
entity is. It's about to attack us in just mere seconds. Right?
Oh my god. Is this what
Now. I mean, the game basically said, it just said to us, once Rose gets her powers, we're going to be attacked by whoever this thing is that's writing these. Oh, it's Super Rose.
Rose, I've waited so long for you.
Who are you?
My name is Miranda.
Yeah, it was like, it was basically the script for the rest of the game.
You had become so powerful. Far too powerful for me to subdue directly.
I like your hat.
So, I had to lure you into this realm so that you might willingly relinquish your powers.
No, but Kay said...
Did he? Or did I? That Kay
He was never
an
there.
illusion. Very
Okay,
convincing.
I didn't expect that.
Wouldn't you say?
No way.
Now you can become the vessel for my Eva!
Oh shit. Is this a sequel to Evangelion?
Rose, run!
Resident Dad.
Ethan, you pest!
Go!
Strengthen me, for he can manifest. He can save you, Rose! No one can. Rose!
Rose, hurry!
You can't escape! Not from me!
Dad, wait, hold up. Is it really you?
Yes, but right now you need to run.
Oh shit, we gotta
Run!
punch this. Thank you, Daddy. Oh my god. I'm liable to punch that. I'm in an action section. Thank you.
Rose!
Makes it even more intense that I might boil one of my hands off.
I didn't boil it all the way.
Okay. Oh, it smells awesome though. I have been gifted a hot cider.
Why didn't you tell me who you really
Fall
were?
begins now for me
Why'd you let me call you Michael?
with the cinnamon
I
stick.
didn't want to complicate things. I just needed you safe. And I'm sorry I left you alone. But I had to find a way out. And I did. It's just ahead.
Rose!
Get away from my daughter! Stay away from my family!
Oh, yeah.
Rose, come on!
Can you imagine if your fingers were actually that long? Like, she only had like 3 fucking joints. Like,
You'd have to do it from afar.
You can't escape.
It's her one trick. It's all she's got, and she's not even good at grabbing.
Ethan,
No, and
persistent
like,
as always.
when they showed her
Rose,
doing the close-up
now's your
of,
chance.
like, her driving
Go
the
live a normal
shoulder,
life.
Like,
Make
she
friends.
had way more joints.
No one will ever call you a
than
freak again.
She does the
But-
straight.
Rose, just go!
Did they just never draw Ethan's face, or what? Like,
Maybe they're just like bad
I
strong
love you.
guy face.
But I need to know that you're
well, we know
safe.
that from
So
Chris.
please, just
Ethan, you insolent pest!
I got this.
You don't need to know.
Get out of
You
here!
know that from anime, where it's like, the girl would be married, and then the guy would just be like one face with different hair, or slightly different hair, or it's like the same one, but like somebody has an extra bang.
Well, now she'll never get her money back.
Does she get her face looked at?
I've got this.
She's gonna
You
get
think
his face
your powers will allow you to stand against me in the heart of my domain?
Go, Trady.
Foolish little girl.
How
Joy.
intent you were on my throwing them away? I think they just might.
How about this?
Okay. Definitely gonna get it right.
This will all soon. Wretch, little girl.
I hit it. I swear I did. I guess I'm hitting it too late.
There's nothing to fear.
Wow.
Offer yourself unto me. Why suffer needs? You are but a vessel.
All right.
Why do you fight?
Hello. Do it. I don't get this mechanic.
There's no shame.
It's very not responsive. Do it. E direction. E
There
direction.
will be wailing
It's not,
and
it does
gnashing.
nothing.
Here I come.
Oh, you have to be holding the direction first, I guess? That's really weird.
Don't resist.
That explains why it wasn't working.
How dare you? And even if you were to survive, what would be the point? You can't save your father. You are of two different worlds. This is me.
Whoa! Okay, cool.
Let's see this power. How about this?
Won't let you do this.
How do you possess such power?
I mean, she has an in-game reason for being
This
able
will
to
also-
punch bullets in half at least.
You wretch! It took so much to lure you, but you're incredible. Well,
You might change your mind when I put an end to your plans.
you will fall.
Lost her.
Your time is out.
Ah.
Come! Be by my side! I cultivated this world within the Megamycete to resurrect your spirit, daughter. But no matter how many vessels I created, none had the power to reach out.
Jesus Christ.
That is why it must be you. You are the only one who can bring her back to me. Whatever it takes, whatever I must do, I will see this through.
Let's see you dodge this.
What is this?
It's bullets.
Do you still not see? There is no happy ending.
Says the wicked witch at the end of her reign.
You will never be normal. Only I understand how special you are.
He's hiding his face.
You
see
just
that?
won't give up. You really are.
Oh my gosh.
That stubborn
They expect so much of me.
shines inside makes you the perfect vessel.
That won't work.
Impossible. I shall finish this.
Okay, now I
There
can't.
is no
Oh.
victory.
Oh my god.
Finally! My struggle comes to fruition.
Rose! Over here!
Dad!
Use this! Take her down!
Oh, I will.
Return and yield your strength to me! Ah! So much power! You truly would have been the perfect vessel for my Eva!
I'm not a goddamn vessel. Not some stupid copy. I'm me, Rose. And you're done.
Face reveal on Ethan's stream.
Oh my god!
The lengths they've gone to carefully hide his face are ridiculous.
You're so grown up now.
Why can't we just see
I
it?
wasn't there with you. I've always watched over you. I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you.
All you've ever done is protect me.
It's like he has a dick on his face.
Not this time. You lost your chance. I'm so sorry.
No. It was my choice. And I don't regret it one bit. If I had left you, then we never would have had this chance to talk.
Oh, this is Mold Dad. 100%. Face to face.
So it's okay.
Well, I've got to go back to the Mushroom Kingdom.
I'm so
Did Kojima write this?
I'm so very proud of you.
Look at.
I love you too, Dad.
It's like a fucking sketch. Like, if he moved his arm away, like, something would fall down that would block just his face, you know?
I'm back. I'm back.
I think it's dead already. I don't think she needs to even destroy it. In fact, it looked like it was all blackened.
Dad.
I was actually thinking of Saitama. We actually just rewatched One Punch Man. And that fucking scene is still hilarious.
Do you think the little boy will be able to touch the moon?
Nobody can touch the moon, it's too far away.
Wait, what if he has a rocket ship?
Okay, then he can touch it, but it'd be very, very cold.
You were being silly. I don't think the moon feels like
It does. But
This was good. This was a cool side story.
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday. Sorry I missed last week. I have a lot of tests coming up. You know how it is.
What the fuck?
Talk of the goddamn devil. Duty calls. I love you.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? Today of all days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Whoa, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
We have a clear shot.
Stand down. I can handle it. She's just a kid.
Way to keep it together, Rose.
You're a lot like him, you know?
I don't think they were saying that she is Evelyn. I think it literally was just a joke
I
by
know.
this guy. So if that's why y'all are saying it makes more sense now. I'm gonna roll that sense back. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Gotcha. Man. It's wild how somehow Capcom has managed to keep their Resident Evil shit
Jesus
together
said-
for
Come!
almost a decade now. Well, Mossy, thank you for the biddies. Maybe I need to give Revelations another chance. But I don't think they're... I'm pretty sure they're not good, right? I said almost... I knew what I was saying. I mean, they've done so much awesome shit now that it really makes the weaker stuff seem like more of a stumble. Where it used to feel like, okay, this is just a dead franchise. there was a window of time where it felt like it was going like, now it feels like, you know, I'm fucking excited for every new release. Yeah, this was real good. This was real good. Me too. Very much looking forward to Resident Evil 4 remake. Well, I want you to be Immortal Pups to watch them. Well, we've still got a stack of things to do, honestly. They're not all jumping to mind just a second. I know there's a few small things I want to do, and there's some return to things that I want to do. Like growing my grandpa and observation duty. I'd like to have another night of that at least. Oh yeah, Iron Lung. That did slide across the old ScreamADay desk. I've heard it's good. I could do it today. Yeah, so Plague Tale 2, I know that that's out and I want to do it. It also feels like it would be a really great game just for the season. Not necessarily... That probably doesn't make any fucking sense. There's something fall about a Plague Tale. Maybe that can be our transitional game out of ScreamADay. Mortuary Assistant was definitely on the list of things I've been considering. This is kind of Bjorkish. Oh, you mean the original? You know, I didn't do that. I went so off the deep end with Resident Evil 2 that I didn't have the energy left for doing Resident Evil 3 to that level. There was a lot going on. That was a good couple of months there, huh? God damn. Because, like, Resident Evil 3 came out, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and I know there was, like, a stack of other things. I think Death Stranding we had just completed before that, I think. There was definitely more. Like, we had a stack of just, like, wow, this is all great. Oh, yeah, Doom Eternal was in there. Animal Crossing came out. Jesus Christ. But there was a particular like solid stack of bangers, yeah, that were all like really close together that I did around the same time that I did Resident Evil 3. So I didn't really allot any time for playing the original. But I'd like to do that. Yeah. I know I've said this 1,000,000 billion times, but I want to get more retro in the schedule, man. I'm all set up. What's up, Mystery? Yeah, I've been here. Things are going not bad. Welcome. God, Half-Life Alyx was so fucking good. Still want to do another playthrough of that because I need to do an index playthrough. The premium experience. In-game time never reflects real time. Do I remember Coast Quest? No, what's that? My friend, we have a sort of a steady drip of people that will appear in chat and are like, holy shit, you're not dead. It's always cool. It's always cool to see. So you are not alone. God, yeah, it's been a long fucking time. Basically, I stopped doing YouTube, and then I've been streaming every single day on Twitch for... Oh God, is December the 10-year anniversary? No, it's the 9-year. I always get confused because ScreamADay, like this is the 9th ScreamADay. Right. I get that confused every fucking time, but it's actually the anniversary of ScreamADay. That's why ScreamADay seems like it's ahead. That's why. So this will be the 9th year anniversary, and then next year will be the decade of streaming every single day consecutively. We really need to update that countdown command to the 10-year mark, I think. Because that's crazy. Well, I started it in the first year. So it predated the first anniversary. Unless you're telling me I've got the numbering wrong somehow. Don't tell me that. That seems like something I would do. Oh, okay, good. All right. So we are in agreement. I've been lucky enough to not have been sick enough to where I haven't been able to at least jump on. Like I'll admit, like some days were bad enough to where I would pop on for like 15 minutes just to check in. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I've done good streams consecutively. But yeah, I've had some days that were like too tough to actually do a stream just to check in, just to keep it going. I'm number 2, believe it or not. It sounds like a wild achievement, but I'm second in the race. There's another streamer named Tushi. Used to be named Cloaked Yoshi, and he's about half a year ahead of me. It's like 180 days or something like that. Thereabouts. Yeah, we have joked at each other about that. It's like, you know, you're younger than me, Tushi, so I think you're going to win this race. The race where everyone's forced to run at the same speed. But yeah, you think Iron Lung will fit in here? Because we could do that. I'm down. I have to pick it up. I mean, even if it doesn't fit, we can continue it tomorrow. So it's not really a big deal. He's at 3451. Damn. Well, I used to smoke, so I didn't like get into vaping. I switched from smoking to vaping. I started smoking in my 20s, and then I switched to vaping. I don't know how many years ago now. I definitely don't recommend it, but it was an improvement for me over smoking. Well, so for me, it was health concerns. I had quit smoking a couple of times, and I just wasn't successful at getting off of the cigarettes. But then vaping, I was able to switch entirely to. And one of the things I learned about quitting smoking from the times that I did do it is you really, you recover so rapidly that it's wild. Like it's really noticeable. Like you get your breath back, you get your sense of taste and smell back to normal levels pretty rapidly. And what I found with vaping is that it doesn't have any of those negative qualities because there's no smoke and tar and everything. So it reduces the problem down to just nicotine. So I don't feel I don't feel shitty like I did when I smoked cigarettes. I think eventually want to get off of vaping as well, though, because nicotine isn't exactly good for you either. I know, right? I think that's one of the worst things, is that constant need of the addiction. It just doesn't quit. And vaping isn't doing anything to fix that for me, obviously, because it just lets you fulfill that and keep it going. But better that than all the smoke and tar. That's just where I'm at with it. I'm not really like a vaping enthusiast or anything like that, so I don't really have any cool things to say about it. I don't have any like recommendations on devices or juice or anything like that, just to let you know right up front. For me, it's very much it was a cessation aid, and then now it's just a vice. And hopefully I'll kick it eventually. Iron Lung. Oh no, every time I go to Steam, I see something else that I want to grab as well. Damn it. Guess I'll just grab this too. Wait, where'd it go? It's gone. No. Does anybody know what that one game where you're just a torso, a head, and an arm? It was just on my Steam store homepage, and then I went back. I was like, I'm gonna grab that, and it's gone. Ah, thank you, Endoparasitic. I couldn't remember the damn name. We're gonna do this one as well. It's awesome. Oh boy. Oh, it's so cool. Add to cart. And let me get Iron Lung. Hell yeah. These are going to be good. Oh. I already have iron. Someone must have sent it to me. I already have Iron Lung. I wonder if I installed it. Did I have it installed? Well, hold on. Let me get Endoparasitic real quick. Yeah, I do have it installed. What's wrong with me? October 22nd, I added it to my library. It doesn't say whether somebody gifted it to me, but someone probably did. Shoe Nice. That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. Oh no. Is this loud, really? I'll turn it down. That didn't seem to do much. Let me know if that's better. I mean, Shoe Nice is, I feel like, it sounds to me like a YouTuber name. I know I've heard it before and I can't remember I can't remember who that is, but I would bet it was a YouTuber. That tracks. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, I think I remember this now. Yeah, bud. You still haven't figured out that whole daylight savings time thing, huh? I know you think it's time. You're right on the dot for 11 o'clock, but you got an hour to wait still, buddy. It's this dumb thing that people do with our clocks. I know, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair, bud. It's not fair. Your little leg popped. Are you okay? Are you alright? Thank you. Soon, buddy. Soon. Alrighty. Go on. I'll be right back. All right. He's the cutest son. Decades ago, every known star and habitable planet vanished, leaving only those who were on space stations or starships. This event became known as the Quiet Rapture. With supplies dwindling and infrastructure crumbling, survivors are searching for any trace of natural resources in a universe of barren moons lit by the ghost light of vanished stars. One such moon holds a strange anomaly, an ocean of blood. You are a convict, tasked with exploring this anomaly in a makeshift submarine nicknamed the Iron Lung. It was not designed for this depth, so you will be welded inside, and the forward window will be closed. There was no time for training. If successful, you earn your freedom. This rocks already. This is so great.
Beginning your descent.
Abe, thank you for the biddies.
Cruising depth in roughly 40 seconds. Stand by. I'm seeing some voltage irregularities in the instruments, so keep an eye out for sparks or flames or anything like that. Approaching maximum depth. The hull's feeling it, but it's still holding strong. Closing porthole shielding. We're starting to lose radio signal. You'll be at cruise depth soon, so refreshing and be careful. You're on your own. Good.
I would fix it. Here we go. There we go. This is so cool already. Huh. Right. Okay. Two weeks ago, we conducted an exploration of moon AT5 for the first time since the Quiet Rapture, leading to the discovery of a fourth blood ocean. A trench beneath the ocean's surface has several points of interest. Your task is to photograph these points of interest with the SM-13's forward camera. Photos must be taken within 2 units of the specified position and 10 degrees of the specified angle. You can also use the camera to help with navigation. Only photos taken at the specified points of interest will be saved. Since you can't navigate by sight, pay attention to your coordinates and consult the map. The proximity indicators next to the sub-controls will trigger if you're getting close to an obstacle. Good luck. It didn't work? Of course it didn't work. Wait, it did work. It just takes time. This is not an expedition. It is an execution. When they put you in here, they don't want you to return. And even if you do, and even if they keep their promises, what freedom waits for you? A few dying ships in a sea of dead stars? If there is still hope, it lies beyond the veil. Hope in this void is as illusionary as the starlight. I will choose to breathe my last here at the bottom of an ocean, unseen, unheard, and uncontrolled. They will get their execution. I will get my freedom. How's this? Is that a photo? Guess so. Okay. So we're at 182.30, 116.71. Okay, so we're basically on the x-axis, but we're far on the y. Where are we? These coordinates don't make a ton of sense. I guess the y is getting lower. So we're like here. We need to be here. Were they? Oh, they are. Yeah, so I mean, we are where I thought we were. Well, apparently there's a proximity sensor. But I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's like audio or visual. Just gonna keep on trucking. Everything's fine. Oh, oh. Okay. Oh. I guess that's a wall. Trin, thank you for the biddies. Basically the same sound. Oh man. So to get there, we have to like... I assume we're about here. So this is what we're seeing. We gotta turn. We gotta go through all this. Oh my god. Sith, thank you for the biddies. So the way should be clear now. Looks like. Okay, so we've got to go, I guess we'll go to this first. 322, 186, A33. Assume there's a wall here. Yeah. Wait, whoops. Ooh. Okay. Don't know what that is. There's definitely some audio. COI Informational Terminal. This is a local database. Be sure to update before each descent. Last updated today. 5378. Well, I don't know if this is the photo they wanted me to get, but those are the coordinates. I guess let's head up here now. 378-263. Oh, 322, not 332? You're right. I don't know how I screwed that up. Like some rocks. I don't know. Were we leaking blood? I feel like I saw it. Yeah. There's some drips. Oh, cool. It checked it off. All right, 378-263. A50. Okay. Similar formation, slightly different. Yeah, like this whole planet is basically a like a creature or something. And clearly it's bleeding. I feel like the drips are getting more drippy. Yes. Okay, where are we? 350, 296. So we're like here. All right, 259, 406.
Oxygen notification.
Boy, run out of time. turned this the wrong way. You need to turn it this way. $296. So it's whatever this is. Sounds like it would be moving, but the photos seem to always be the same. Okay, so now we need to get out of here. Oh, so now do I need to go... What wall am I about to hit? I think I want to go to the left of this thing. Ooh. Close shave, I think. It's fine. Corvus, thank you for 63 months. Where am I? 346, 445. Here. Yes, we're like here. I think I need to actually... It's time to turn. So notice this thing for the biddies. So we should be like here-ish. And we want to turn around like 325, 375, or 375, 325. This is Y and this is X, so yeah, 375-ish, 325-ish. Thread that needle. Sheesh. Okay, and then we're headed to 560, 277. getting some music now. The fuck? $43. Weird. All right, and then we just kind of keep going. Along that angle. 613, 197. That's a huge bones. Some sort of a kind of a whale thing. Okay, then we've got one way off over here. We're kind of pointed that way already. It was 864, 258. We have to squeeze through a little passage. We're at 740-ish. So we're like here. We're at 278. So we're probably right there-ish. $758, $259. Might be too low. It's just a very tight squeeze. The tightest squeeze. Jesus Christ, that sounded like it was three-dimensional. It sounded like it was in the room with me. What the fuck? Game player Abe, thank you for the biddies. Okay, we're at 840-ish. I think we can start turning downward. Jesus Lord. Sith, thank you for the biddies. That one also sounded very goddamn three-dimensional. Whew. And we're going to 258. Sith, thank you for the biddies. What the fuck is that sound? $209. What are we looking at? Is that a crashed submarine? I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. Now we got to get out of here. Well, I could have. I still can. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. Let's just get out of here. We got a long ways to go. I need to get up to around 280. We're there. Yeah, we are slowly running out of air, so that's a concern here. Christ. Okay, so this is between 550 and 575. So basically, once we get under 575, we can start looking at turning north, I'm going to call it. Oh, we're also where we wanted to be, so we can just start going up. I don't think I hit anything, so I don't know what happened. Oh, they did. Wow, we got bumped all the way up to like here-ish? Weird. We got slapped? I tried help. It gave me nothing. I don't think I tried blood. Well, we didn't need to teleport. Because we're only right here. We also were able to go through here, so I feel like the implied path is probably here. Also, how high are we going? 520. Okay, 623, 520. Are we? Looks the same to me. Maybe I did try blood, actually. Well, I was going to turn and try to get a photo of whatever that was, but that ain't happening. Right. I feel like it's a giant blood well. Blood whale. Whale. That's whale spine. All right. Let's turn around. We're going to about 370, west of 375. This is really, really, really good.
Oxygen notification.
Getting low. Well, we head north and see how it goes. We'll be out of it if we get above like 625. You're watching a video of me nailing the fuck out of it? Okay. Then I kind of want to go get this like obnoxious one out of the way. So let's go above 650. Time is running short. Oh! There's fire. We got fire. It's spreading. I have a fire extinguisher. It's just getting worse. Why isn't it working? It's starting to work, okay. I'll keep that one as my friend. What the fuck? Jesus. I just heard this crackling. gentle crackling. All right. Now we head for proximity. Just west of 200. Ooh. Oh, I guess we are skirting right along that edge, aren't we? There's some real sounds happening. This is the kind of stuff I was talking about the other day, though, or many days ago now. Remember when I was saying that I have this big interest in making games where you're... This is very much like what I described, actually. Where you're, like, marooned in space, but you have a job, and you have to, like, do sort of mundane, dangerous things. This is extremely up my alley. Okay, so we gotta do a rather annoying, sort of careful threading along here. Whatever that is, it's in front of us. I guess it's that. We're gonna approach it and take a picture. $185.76. Almost there. What the hell? This is screwing with things. For question marks. Trin, thank you for the biddies. Alright, well, we can leave now, so I'm going to. I'm actually gonna turn around. Quick experiment. I guess it's affecting the whole thing. I thought maybe it would affect the back more than the front if the back was facing it, but that doesn't seem to have been the case. Where are we? 277, 633? So, roundabouts there, 633. So it kicked us out of here and we don't have to do the shitty path. That's nice. So we're like here. And we're going to 325, 741, 18. Oh. Bones. More bones. It's always bones! Okay, so we need to get under 700 on the Y. And then just head to close to 600. Last one. It does that. There's no points of interest, so I don't feel inclined to. Oh, you mean like whoop, off the map? As far as the terminal commands go, don't tell me what they... Don't tell me what they are. I was gonna ask if I'm missing some hints or something in the game that tell me what the heck I should be watching out for. Tenosis, thank you for the biddies. I know, but I'm interested in lore.
Oxygen notification.
Great. The lights are blinking. Oh, now we're taking on blood. Nothing can put out my flame. My eternal fire. Okay, we gotta get to... Oh my gosh. 775-ish. It's looking bad. looking bad and getting worse. So we were like right here. We need to turn up at 675-ish. I will probably drown before then. I wasn't meaning to ask. I wasn't asking if they were useful to what I'm doing. I was asking if I can be learning them, because basically I don't want to be told. I'm wondering if I'm missing the ability to learn them myself. Okay, we're going exactly to 675, 828. $295. Well done, Dave. Well done. Well done. The expedition ultimately raised more questions than answers. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a signed jump scare. You just immediately like, rah, by David. The expedition ultimately raised more questions than answers. Satellite images showed pieces of the SM-13 scattered all over the bottom of the trench, as though it had been torn apart by some huge beast. They can take satellite photos of the bottom this whole time? The wreckage cannot be reached at this time. No photographs have been recovered. The stars are pale as bones. Blah, blah, blah. That upsets me. If you're going to put a long thing for people to read... The stars shine pale as bones. The moon is a lifeless corpse. It's ocean a gaping wound. The universe, what's left of it, is dying. Sith, thank you for the biddies. But somewhere in the void, there must be hope. I don't know if food is just riffing, just rolling out some open mic prose, or if food actually has a screenshot or something. Okay. Good catch. Well caught. This was very cool. It's wild how you can make a little game like this, and really all it has is just a jump scare. But actually, the atmosphere and the little idea and everything, it just executes on a small idea well. It just executes it well. And that's always nice. Very cool little game. The creepiest. Yeah, hell yeah. Based on the information I've been given. Well, I blew it. Yeah, it's atmosphere. I mean, the photo stuff is really cool. Really, really cool. Hey, that's not for you. That's not food. Probably like the names of the name of the moon and stuff or whatever. Maybe Rapture. The eye shot was very cool. That rocked. Alright, well it is that time and this boy is hungry. He thinks I'm an hour late. The poor son. He doesn't know how to use a clock. He'll adjust. Government, decide on the time thing. For Chew's sake. But yeah. I will see y'all tomorrow. We'll be starting something new, I guess. Until then. Have a great night.